Flash floods have hit parts of Saudi Arabia as heavy rainfall has been recorded across the kingdom since last week. Islam, one of the three major Abrahamic and monotheistic faiths, traces its roots back to the holy city of Mecca, which has just recently witnessed a surprising event. The premises of the Holy Mosque, the Kaaba, were struck by a foreboding lightning bolt which portended a fierce storm with strong winds and sheets of water flooding the province of Mecca and claiming lives. These strings of unsettling events have raised brows among Muslims and even amongst the adherents of the contemporary Abrahamic faiths. This event mirrors past catastrophic reports recounted in the scriptures of all three faiths. Join us as we piece the puzzle from the clues provided by this perturbing occurrence. From historical tales of biblical floods to contemporary instances of devastating flash floods, rising waters hold a significant place in the collective human experience. Floods are powerful forces of nature that have long kept human communities on their toes. To navigate the challenges presented by these unpredictable and potent natural events, floods have played a dual role throughout history. In some instances, floods serve as a boon for agriculture, fostering fertile grounds for crops. However, at their extremes, floods brought about mass destruction, capable of wiping out entire civilizations. This delicate balance between destructive force and life-giving nourishment underscores the dual nature of floods in shaping civilizations. Beyond the physical ramifications, floods also carry deeper symbolic meanings. The symbolic language of floods is deeply embedded in cultural, religious, and psychological contexts. In various mythologies and religions, floods carry significant symbolic weight. In Hinduism, floods symbolize God's will and displeasure with human actions. These beliefs about natural phenomena are also widespread in the myths and folklores of other cultures, such as the Chinese, Greek, Norse, Mesopotamian, Irish, Mayan, and Aboriginal mythologies. These myths often narrate floods as divine punishment or a reset for humanity. Beyond destruction and chaos, floods symbolize purification and change. Despite their destructive nature, floods can purify and rejuvenate the earth, creating a fertile ground for new life. In essence, floods embody the interplay between destruction, renewal, and the constant cycles of change in human experience and recounted history. The transformative power of floods is echoed in the scriptures of the three Abrahamic faiths, where the flood symbolizes cleansing and the beginning of a new era. The Bible recounts the story of Noah's Ark, where a flood is a divine act of cleansing to rid the earth of sin. This same story is told in the Torah and the Quran, where God instructed Noah to build an ark and seek refuge with the righteous people and pairs of every animal on earth. The flood lasted for weeks, and according to the scriptures, the whole earth was submerged in water. The recurrence of this natural phenomenon in a holy site such as the Kaaba has raised brows among Muslims, adherents to Christianity and Judaism, and almost everyone who has heard the news. An understanding of Mecca must first be established to understand the reason for this shock. Mecca is a holy city, popularly known as the birthplace of Islam and home to the Holy Mosque, the Kaaba. Mecca holds immense religious significance as the holiest city in Islam. The city is home to the Kaaba, a sacred structure at the center of the Masjid al-Haram, Islam's most revered mosque. It is also the annual convergent point for more than 1 million Muslims who journey from their distant homes to Mecca to complete a part of their faith as pilgrims. As reported by the Islamic scriptures, the mosque was said to be built by Abraham, linking Islam to Abraham, a figure that appears in the scriptures of the three major monotheistic faiths. In the Arabian Peninsula, Mecca is a province in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, one of the Middle East's affluent oil-rich desert countries. The Middle Eastern nations, including those on the Arabian Peninsula, display considerable climatic diversity with substantial variations even within individual countries such as Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia experiences an arid climate with extremely low rainfall and high temperatures. The country is predominantly covered by deserts, with the Rub al-Khali, also known as the Empty Quarter, being one of the world's largest sand deserts. The aridity results from the country's location within the subtropical belt and its proximity to the Arabian Desert. Rainfall is scarce and irregular, with some regions receiving less than 20 millimeters of rain annually. The temperatures in Saudi Arabia can soar during the summer, often exceeding 40 degrees Celsius. Mecca, situated in the western region of Saudi Arabia, experiences a predominantly arid climate, mirroring the broader environmental conditions of the surrounding area. It is characterized by scorching temperatures and minimal rainfall. Mecca's climate poses unique challenges for residents and the millions of pilgrims annually. These climatic conditions illuminate the perplexity of the recent unfolding deluge events in the region. The arid climate of Saudi Arabia makes the occurrence of floods highly unlikely and, in fact, quite surprising. Characterized by vast deserts and receiving minimal rainfall throughout the year, the country's landscape is not conducive to the formation of floods. The arid climate creates dry conditions and limited vegetation, resulting in the rapid absorption of any rare rainfall that does occur. Saudi Arabia's river systems are typically dry, with intermittent wadis that only experience water flow during rare rain events. Consequently, the absence of sustained precipitation and the prevalence of arid conditions make flooding uncommon and unexpected in this region. Any significant deviation from the arid norm leading to a flood would indeed be a surprising and noteworthy event in the context of Saudi Arabia's climatic characteristics. In the wake of heavy rainfall in the Mecca province of Saudi Arabia, the region experienced severe flooding. The central coastal region of Saudi Arabia recently experienced dramatic scenes due to heavy storms and rainfall, particularly affecting the holy city of Mecca. Images circulated on social media depicted the aftermath of the weather, including collapsing power poles, the iconic Mecca clock tower being struck by lightning, and pilgrims being swept away by powerful winds. Workers at the Kaaba, the black mosque circled by Muslims in a practice called tawaf, were seen attempting to collect dumpsters blown across the square. The Saudi National Meteorology Center issued weather warnings, including a red alert for certain parts of the country, advising people to stay indoors as the unstable weather was expected to persist. Thunderstorms with active winds were forecasted in regions such as Jazan, Al-Baha, Mecca, Al-Mukarramah, and Medina. Additionally, dusty surface winds and dust were anticipated in eastern and central regions. The temperatures in the country had soared to 48 degrees Celsius, with humidity reaching 95%. While hot and humid summers are normal in Saudi Arabia, the heavy and sudden rainfall combined with strong winds and dust storms was considered unusual. Arab News reported a tragic incident involving the death of Muhammad Al-Ta, a teacher. Al-Ta lost his life while attempting to escape from his car, which floodwaters had engulfed. This was due to the region's desert topography, which poses challenges for natural water drainage. Authorities have attributed the issues to poor urban planning and insufficient rainwater drainage systems. The storm also significantly impacted pilgrims at the Grand Mosque, where lightning struck the Fairmont Mecca Clock Royal Tower Hotel as they circumambulated the Kaaba. The intense bolts of lightning illuminated the night sky. Witnesses described scenes of chaos as wind toppled pilgrims outside the mosque, causing crowd barriers to slide across rain-slicked floors. Residents shared their harrowing experiences of the sudden and intense storm and the frightening moments when the rain started pouring chaotically. In response to the severe weather conditions, the Mecca governor announced the closure of schools, with classes to be conducted through an e-learning platform to ensure everyone's safety. Extreme weather is still anticipated to persist in the Mecca region of Saudi Arabia till 2024, with rain, thunderstorms, and floods predicted by the National Center of Meteorology. The region's Crisis and Disaster Management Center has issued a warning, urging residents to exercise caution and avoid areas prone to water accumulation. The Saudi press agency reported on Monday that most cities in the Mecca region are expected to experience thunderstorms and dust storms until this year's end. The National Center of Meteorology has conveyed a yellow warning through social media. In response to the weather conditions, the Hajj Ministry has advised the public to wear masks in crowded places. Additionally, authorities have highlighted the likelihood of a quicker spread of influenza as temperatures are expected to gradually decrease. The unusual weather events and developments in Saudi Arabia posed immediate threats and raised questions about the cultural and religious significance of such occurrences. Mecca, being the holiest city in Islam, holds immense importance for Muslims worldwide. The scenes of disruption and damage to religious landmarks, including the Kaaba, evoke a sense of concern and reflection within the Islamic community. The occurrence of this event on a pilgrimage site and the sacred surroundings of Mecca adds a layer of complexity to how the believers of the Islamic faith and all other Abrahamic faiths perceive it. What religious meanings do floods and rain in the Holy City mean to Muslims and other monotheists? While it is already established that rainfall and flooding, despite being natural weather occurrences, are very unusual phenomena in the province of Mecca and the whole Arabian Peninsula, on a broader scale, there have been prophecies that hint at the end of the world when such events have begun to be witnessed in the scriptures of the Abrahamic faiths. Does the flood signal the end of the world as we know it? The Prophet Muhammad, a figure revered and held dear by the Muslims as the final messenger from the Almighty Allah who came to complete the teachings of the previous messengers of God, foretells a time when the plains of the Arabian deserts will become lush with greenery. The quote goes thus: "The hour will not be established until wealth is so abundant and overflowing that a man will go out with his wealth to give alms but not find anyone who accepts it from him. And until rivers and meadows return to the land of Arabia." In the above text, what is meant by the hour is the end of time, and he clearly states here that time will end when the dry plains of Arabia return to rivers and meadows. Another word to note here is return. The word return emphasizes that the deserted stretches of the Arabian desert were once lush greenlands. What is more intriguing is that archaeologists, unaware of this prophecy, have come up with proof that the evolution, migration, and population of Earth by the early men were only possible because of a green and lush Arabia. Groundbreaking archaeological discoveries have reshaped our understanding of human evolution and migration, with the Arabian Peninsula emerging as a key player in this narrative. Michael Petralia, a professor of human evolution and prehistory at the University of Oxford, spearheaded a collaboration project meant to delve into the prehistoric past of the Arabian Peninsula. Contrary to the prevailing belief that deserts are archaeological wastelands, the research unveiled a rich tapestry of history beneath the seemingly barren landscapes. The findings indicate that vast regions of the Arabian Peninsula were once thriving ecosystems with lush green landscapes, lakes, and rivers. These conditions, fluctuating over thousands of years, played a pivotal role in the migration patterns of early humans out of Africa during the late Pleistocene period. The Arabian Peninsula, long neglected in the story of human migrations, is now recognized as a crucial stepping stone in the dispersal of Homo sapiens across the planet. One notable site, Mundafan, in the southwest of Saudi Arabia, reveals the remnants of a large freshwater lake showcasing the dramatic climate-driven transformations that influenced human development. Another site, Jabal Qadam, located in the Great Nefud Desert, has provided valuable insights into human habitation along the shores of a vanished lake approximately 8,000 years ago. These discoveries corroborate the prophecy of the Prophet Muhammad that alludes to the notion that the plains of Arabia were once green. However, are the recent climatic events and deluge of water causing them to revert to their ancient state of greenery and lushness? The recent heavy rainfall in Saudi Arabia has triggered deadly flooding and brought about a remarkable transformation in the typically arid landscapes of the northern regions. There has been a rapid floral bloom due to the above-average winter rainfall, and this has painted the barren terrains with vibrant purples and greens. The transformation of the arid desert landscape in Arabia into a super bloom due to rain and floods would be remarkable. The concept of lush vegetation and flourishing meadows in the typically dry and barren deserts of Arabia aligns with the prophetic vision mentioned by the Prophet Muhammad, reflecting a vision of a distant future where the once arid lands experience a resurgence of water and fertility. While witnessing a super bloom may initially evoke awe and appreciation for the natural beauty, it could also evoke concerns among some Muslims who interpret such changes in the landscape as potential signs of the approaching end times, throwing them into a quandary. While they are excited about the transformation of a barren desert to a lush land, they are also perturbed by the prophecy, adding a layer of complex feelings to the unfolding of the present climatic events. The delicate balance between embracing the beauty of nature and considering the implications of prophetic statements adds a layer of complexity to the perception of environmental transformations in the context of religious beliefs. Does the flood serve as a dangerous omen signaling the beginning of an apocalypse? While this might seem to be the case, caution is advised in interpreting such signs. According to Christianity and Judaism, floods were once employed by God Almighty as one of the ways to cleanse the earth of immorality, decadence, and evil. In a profound moment, God, observing the escalating wickedness of humanity, decided to eradicate all living beings from the face of the earth. The pervasive evil had reached a point where every inclination of human thoughts was wicked throughout the day. Filled with regret over creating mankind, God declared his intention to wipe them out, from humans to animals, birds, and crawling creatures. However, amidst this divine resolution was a beacon of hope in the figure of Noah, described as a righteous man in his generation. Noah found favor in the eyes of God. The subsequent verses detail the instructions given to Noah to build an ark as a means of salvation from the impending flood. The ark, constructed with specific dimensions and materials, became the vessel that would preserve Noah, his family, and pairs of animals. The ark floated above the submerged landscape as the floodwaters engulfed the earth for 40 days and nights. Eventually, the waters began to recede, and the ark rested upon the mountains of Ararat. God, remembering Noah and the creatures with him, caused a wind to pass over the earth, gradually subsiding the waters. God instructed Noah,